Hey everybody, happy Turtle Tuesday and happy Halloween for those of you who celebrate. So we are in my turtle room today to do an unboxing and review of the latest TMNT Ultimates from Super7. I was pretty skeptical that we were going to get any TMNT Super7 Ultimates. I really thought that we weren't going to get any for the whole year, and they made a liar out of me, which is totally fine because I'm happy that we're getting more of these figures. I have been pretty critical of Super7 in the past because of some of the things that they've said in some of their videos and interviews, and some of the quality control issues, and certainly, the delays. Some of it's understandable, but some of it really, I feel like, is a bit ridiculous. So yeah, we did get the next wave of TMNT Ultimates. The only ones that I was interested in was Genghis Frog and Space Cadet Raphael. I actually did a custom shredder, which is right there. I took a Super7 shredder and painted it to make it look like kind of the Toon version, which is basically the version that was in this wave. And then, the robot Rocksteady looks pretty cool. I just didn't want to pay the extra price for it. I just felt like it really was something I didn't need in my collection, given the price. But we got these two guys, and in the background, you can see some of my latest additions to my Raphael collection. That little section of the wall is getting pretty crowded. So, that's what happens when you're a toy collector. And don't mind some of the banging around that you may hear in the background. If you've been watching my videos, you know that my turtle room is also home to a pet turtle, and she is in her tank for the colder months, and she tends to do a little bit of banging around. So here is the Genghis Frog with the slip cover on. So you can see it says Genghis Frog. It is spelled correctly. On the Super7 website, it was not spelled correctly, but the packaging it is, so that's great. And we get his face, and then we just get the TMNT logo. And then if I do the fun slip cover reveal, there he is. And I must say, I think he looks pretty darn good. The colors really pop. The accessories are very nice looking. We're going to get him out and see, but first, first impressions, he looks pretty darn good. Now, here is Space Cadet Raphael, which you all know. Raphael is my favorite turtle, and of course, I had to get this one. So, there he is, slip cover removed. Looks pretty good. I feel like the chest, it could have been a little bit better. I think that's just like a sticker they stuck on there. They could have done paint or something for that. The helmeted head is pretty cool. He's got his little alien creature buddy, and I do like the silver and red translucent weapon, so that looks pretty cool. So before I get these guys unboxed, I just wanted to do a quick shout out. I'm not sure who it was, but someone on one of the TMNT Facebook groups actually posted a link saying that the Super7 glow-in-the-dark turtles were on the Macy's.com website, and they were like $12 cheaper. So I actually ordered a glow-in-the-dark Raphael today. It came to, I think, $52 with free shipping. I was very, very excited because you guys know I'm crazy about Raphael, and I did not want to pay, certainly want to pay for all 4 glow-in-the-dark turtles, but I didn't want to pay the higher price because the glow-in-the-dark stuff is always more expensive. So sometimes it really pays off to just wait and be patient, and Macy's of all places, which is very strange. But yeah, so last I checked, they're all 4 on the website still. Like I said, I just ordered a Raphael, but if you were looking at the Super7 TMNT Ultimates glow-in-the-dark turtles, maybe the Macy's website is a place to check out. And again, shout out to whoever that was who posted it in one of the TMNT Facebook groups. Much appreciated. All right, so we are going to get these two guys out and see how they move and do some comparisons. So here we go. Forgot to show the back of the boxes with the descriptions. So if you wanted to read the description for Space Cadet Raph, you can pause the video and check this out. And then for Genghis Frog, there you go. So that's what the back of the box has to say about these two figures. All right, and we are back here with Genghis Frog. And on this side is the vintage Genghis Frog. And on this side is the retro re-release that came out within the last year or so. I just thought this would be a fun way to start the Genghis Frog review. That way you can see the comparison between the vintage figure, the new retro figure, and the Super 7 Ultimates figure in terms of size and detail. I will say it's sort of funny, I guess, because the last time I did a Super 7 video, I opened two figures. One I absolutely loved, and I was very surprised at how much I liked it. And the other one I was really looking forward to, and it was pretty disappointing. That was a Power Rangers review, if you wanted to check that out. And it has happened again. So Genghis here is the figure that is pleasantly surprising me, and I actually like him a lot more than I thought I would. Now, I am cheating a little bit because if you have the original Genghis Frog, you know he is very difficult to stand, and the re-release is exactly the same, so also difficult to stand. And I am using the Super 7 figure to hold them up, because if I move this Genghis, these two are gonna fall backwards. But let's run through the accessories before we look at the figure. And Genghis actually has some really nice accessories. I'm pleasantly surprised. So he does come with his board, and it's nicely painted. It's a cool feeling plastic. I don't really know how to describe it, but it just has like a nice kind of solid feel to it. Yeah, I really like it. And you know, the blue is lighter. He's not quite the same shade of blue as the vintage figure, but I kind of like it. I like the blue, and I like the way that the plastic feels. We've got, of course, his sunglasses, which are a nice thick pair of sunglasses, and they seem pretty sturdy, pretty durable. We've got this wild thing here, the tongue gun, which is quite something. You can see that you can spin it around with the little part on the back, which I think is kind of nice. So there is actually a little bit of playability here with this gun. And again, it feels really good. Like this isn't a bendy wire or anything, but just the plastic in general feels like a better quality, if that makes sense. And it's just kind of a fun little weapon to include. Obviously, the vintage weapon is, not really anything as cool as that. He already had his belt on with the grenades in package. We're going to see. I'm not sure if those are removable or not. We have this crazy alternate head, which actually it looks a lot better in person. I know, a lot of us from the promo pics were, kind of making fun of it a little bit. In person, it actually, I think, looks a lot cooler, and the mouth and tongue detail is pretty cool. And now I don't know what I'm going to do, because I was really planning on just posing him with the regular head, but I really kind of like this one. So I'm thinking maybe if, maybe if like the Genghis figure goes on sale on Amazon or something, maybe I'll pick another one up and paint it in a different color scheme and use the alternate head. That's kind of sort of what I'm thinking about, because already first impressions, I feel like this figure is a winner. And I really wouldn't mind having another one, painting it myself, and just turning it into one of the other frogs that we never got. We get gripping hands. He has like more open hands on him. So these are like the tighter gripping hands, probably for the gun. And we have got 2 fists. So there we go. So again, you can see him compared to the original figures. I'm gonna get them out of the way here and they will most definitely fall. So I'm just going to get them out of the way completely. But you can see he's pretty darn close to the original vintage figure. Just more details. Yes, the blue is a little bit lighter, but you know, he's got, you know, the necklace, which is actually removable. It's a separate piece. They did a really nice job with this Genghis frog. You know, the belt does seem like it would be removable. I don't know why you want to remove his belt, but you could. And then, not sure, let's see. Not sure if these are removable. They don't feel removable. So I'm pretty sure that his little grenades are not removable. They don't seem to be, which is fine. But yeah, the belt looks good. And let's go check out his articulation. So head, back and forth, a teeny tiny bit of like tilt, but not a lot. Shoulders go up pretty good. He kind of has a hunch to him, but it doesn't seem to really be affecting it. Elbows, single jointed, of course, because it's Super 7, but they actually feel pretty good. Honestly, this figure is surprising me. The figure feels very well made, very well done. You know, he has like this diaphragm cut thing that we really don't get with these figures. So I think this is a new added articulation to him. So yeah, it's like a diaphragm cut, and then I'm not sure if the waist turns. Yeah, the waist also turns. So he's got like a diaphragm cut and a waist that turns. Hips go out a little bit. This belt's kind of getting in the way a little bit. And then we have the double jointed knees, which go back that far, which is actually pretty good. The knees feel pretty good too. Ankles up and down. He's got big old giant feet, so it's very easy to stand him up. So there is Genghis Frog. And I think he actually came out great. I do want to try the head swap. Let me see. All right, yeah, so the head pops off nice and easy. There's a big old dumbbell joint under there. And let's see. So like I said, the necklace, it's just soft plastic, very easy to take on and off if you want to. But the necklace is always, you know, part of that vintage figure. Getting the other head on, it's a challenge, to say the least. All right, I think I got it. No, I didn't. Okay, so I don't want to break anything, so I'm just going to try to put it on there partially, just so you guys can see what he looks like with that alternate head. See, I think this looks really cool, actually. It's a different look for Genghis. Let's see. Maybe we can put his shades on him too. So I don't know. That looks pretty cool. This figure has really surprised me. They did a much better job than I thought, and I'm very happy with the figure overall. Like I said, if it goes on sale ever in the next year or two, I'll probably buy another one to paint it and, you know, turn it into, you know, Rasputin or whatever. The one comparison I thought that would be really good to do is with Slash, mostly because this is my favorite Super 7 Ultimates figure. And you can see that Genghis is actually taller than Slash, okay? That's because Slash is a big, bulky figure, so he's, you know, certainly going to be a little thicker and a little heavier. But I think that the, you know, the comparison here in terms of size, I think is fantastic. So I thought Genghis was going to be a little bit on the smaller side. Turns out, I think he scales absolutely perfect. So let's get the big bruiser out of here. And of course, I'm sure everyone is wondering what he looks like next to a turtle. So here is Raphael, the best turtle. And you can see that, I mean, Genghis has some size to him. I mean, definitely, you know, I always kind of think of the frogs as being the same size as the turtles, but these Super 7 Ultimates, you know, they just kind of bulk them up a little bit more. And, you know, you can definitely see that with the Genghis figure. But I think he looks awesome. So definitely my favorite of the two, if you couldn't tell. And now, speaking of the best turtle, we have to look at Space Cadet Raphael. So here he is, right out of the packaging. I will say that right out of the package, his one hand kind of just fell right off. So that was a little disappointing. Here is the vintage figure comparison. So you can certainly see the inspiration there. We do get a lot of pretty good accessories. So you have like this alternate head where he's like fully helmeted up. So he's like fully astronaut, which I think is pretty cool. We get this one, which I guess it's like a communication like visor thing. So I guess you can take off the clear helmet and then put that on. I don't know if I would do that or not, but that's an option. You've got a pizza in like a I guess a airtight bag. So I guess it's like astronaut dry, freeze dried pizza maybe. So that's okay. I mean, it's not really an accessory I need. But the other accessories are pretty cool. So we get the sword. So the same sword that the vintage figure came in, but we get a little bit of that translucent red plastic in the handle. We could have stood to have a little bit more paint, I think. But the silver is nice. So, for what it is, I think it's pretty good. The gun, again, the gun is inspired from the vintage toy. It's pretty much identical to it, just bigger. And it's got that nice silver paint. Again, some more paint details would have been nice on this thing. It's just a hunk of silver plastic, but it's still pretty cool. Now, one thing that I did kind of ask about, but I'm sure they didn't see my comment, and of course it was 2 years ago when the figure was first announced, but here is his tube, and yes, it is in silver. So when they first announced this wave of figures, way back when, I actually did put a comment. I think I put a comment on the video, and then I think on like their Twitter or whatever. And I said, can you please make this yellow? Because the vintage figures tube is yellow. And I just think it would have added a nice little pop of color. It would have been a nice homage to the vintage figure. And of course they didn't do it. But that's, it is what it is. I shouldn't really be surprised. But it would have been great if this was in yellow, like a yellow plastic instead. Well, what can you do? He comes with his little alien buddy. I'm not sure if this thing has a name, but it's basically supposed to be this thing that is crawling on the back of the vintage figure. They gave us like a little figure version of it. So that's pretty cute. It's like, the little alien that's basically attacking Raphael on the vintage figure. We get a little alien creature. Then he's got some hands. We've got, I guess these are like some sai gripping hands for the sais that he comes with. So I don't think the vintage figure came with sais, but yeah, we get these sais with like the red translucent plastic. These are actually pretty cool. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna display him because he doesn't really have anywhere on him to store weapons. 2 fists, 2 tighter gripping hands. So these actually might be for the sais. Well, I guess you can kind of put the sais between his fingers, but these are probably for the gun and the larger sword, because these have a much, bigger opening than these do. So yeah, I think the smaller ones are for the sai handles, and then the larger ones are for the sword and the gun. And on him, he of course has these kind of outward display hands. Like I said, this one just kind of fell right off the figure out of the packaging. It's not on there very tight, but we have some loose hips, unfortunately. The left leg is not too bad, but his right leg the hip is very, very loose. And we've had turtles like this before, and it's making me just a little nervous about his ability to stand up. And I just feel like, it's just, he's a very plain figure. And it's just, I mean, I know that Super7 does what they do with prices and whatnot, but I just feel like for this figure to be the same price as that Genghis figure, I don't know. I just don't see the value. I feel like Genghis came with bigger and better accessories and just more paint detail and just more heft. This figure, he just feels just kind of light and just, I don't want to say phoned in, but like this is just like a sticker on here, and I feel like it could have been painted, or they could have done a little bit something more with it. Now let's see how hard it is to pop this off. All right, so that wasn't too bad. I just twisted it and it came off. Okay, so that's good. So you can see the head without the glass cover. And it's fine. But like I said, I don't know. I feel like this figure could use a bit more either details or maybe a different alternate head. I don't know, just something seems amiss to me. All right, so let's see how he looks with this on him, which you can't really get it on his head. Am I putting it on wrong? No. All right, so this doesn't really go on all the way, and I don't want to break it. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to go on, but yeah, the head definitely has like a lot of movement to it. Okay. Shoulders go up, these little shoulder things. Well, the shoulders are actually kind of stiff. And it's making me nervous. I don't want to break it because sometimes these figures do break if you don't heat them up. Can't really get the elbows to move either. The knees move fine. And like I said, this hip is really, really loose. I'm not sure why. The one hip, well, and actually, if you look, this, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you see on camera, it looks like it's like got some kind of like liquid or something. Yeah, it's like some kind of oily something on there. So I don't know if that oily stuff, let me see if I wipe it off a little bit. Maybe that oily stuff is making it a little loose. And then like his, I don't know, he called diaper piece. It's just kind of like not attached, and yeah, I don't think that helped that much. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what exactly is going on with this figure, but it feels very different from Genghis. It feels kind of cheaper. The joints feel looser. It's just a shame because I was really looking forward to this. I mean, it's Raphael. It's one of my favorite versions of Raphael, and I can't even get it to stand up without, like that Genghis figure, I just pulled him right out and he just stood like right up without a problem. But this guy, he just doesn't want to stand. So I guess that's the best we're gonna do. Let me move the vintage figure out of the way. Let me see how easy it is to pop off the head. No, okay. So I'll have to add heat to pop the head off because it's really on there. And if you've been doing this for a while, like me, you kind of can feel when it feels like it's gonna break. The alternate head is kind of cool. I guess I kind of wished for, for what we're getting for the price, either more paint or an alternate head, like another alternate head, something like that. All right, so let's see if we can figure out how. So I'm assuming that this plugs into here. No, okay, right here maybe. All right, so maybe, no, okay. It doesn't seem to plug in anywhere. Okay, so that's strange. So I don't see on here anywhere where the hose is supposed to plug in. Like all of these holes are just like painted on. They're not actual holes in the figure. So does that mean he doesn't have a place for this to plug in? I don't think so, because nothing is a hole. Like it looks like there's a hole, but there isn't. Oh, I guess he does have a little communicator thing here. This is kind of cool. All right, so that's neat. That's a little bit more detail, so that's cool. All right, so that's nice. He has that on his forearm. But yeah, I don't see anywhere to plug in the tube. Okay, so that's very strange. I guess maybe we were never supposed to have anywhere to plug the tube in, and he doesn't want to stand up, so I'm just gonna lay him down. But yeah, like the gun has a spot for the tube, but I don't see anywhere where this gets plugged in because, the vintage figure, the hose plugs into the gun and then it plugs into the front of the figure right there. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like even like the chest piece of the vintage figure has more paint and more detail than the new figure does. And like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay, I see. So the vintage figure has kind of showed me what needs to be done. I guess the goggles go on him underneath the helmet. So let me see if I could figure that part out. But yeah, I'm kind of stumped about the hose. So if any of you guys know what you're supposed to do with the hose besides plug it into the gun, let me know. But yeah, it definitely feels like this goggle piece, if you try to put it around the head, it feels like it's gonna break. So I don't really want to break anything on my figure. let me see if I can maybe get this on with it on there. So not really. And okay, there we go. Well, I got the globe back on, but yeah, it's kind of crooked. Yeah, so definitely a disappointing figure. At least he has not broken yet, unlike my Dragon Zord that was in that previous video that I mentioned. But yeah, just the shoulders and the elbows are stuck, and the hips are very loose, and he does not want to stand up at all. And I think probably the reason he doesn't want to stand up is those loose hips are just making him fall. So look how far forward I have to bend him just to get him to stand up straight. So that's how far I had to bend him forward. Yeah, it's sort of disappointing. I want to do a comparison here. So I guess, well, I already picked up this figure. So here is the Mikey variant. So Sword Surfer Mike and Sword Samurai Leo. It would be nice if we got Undercover Don instead of an Undercover Raphael. It was very weird that they did that. Like the Undercover Raphael figure was a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, and that's fine. Why not just release the Donatello in a wave, and then we can have all four? Like, I would love to have all four of the turtles in their original Turtles in Disguise, based off the vintage figures. The first four disguised turtles we got were these four and Undercover Don. And they still have yet to announce an Undercover Don, but they did an Undercover Raphael. It just doesn't make sense to me. They've advertised other variants of Donatello, but they're not giving us the one that we need to complete this set. So I don't know. It's kind of annoying. Now I will say lots of people had trouble with the Samurai Leo. Mine was okay, but I heated him very thoroughly, and I was very, very careful with him, and I got him into this pose that I absolutely love, and I have not moved him one bit ever since I posed him, because I just don't want to mess with him, and I don't want anything to break. I think he looks fantastic like this is, but he is not, great in terms of movement for an action figure. He just kind of has become a statue. I think the Surfer Mike is a fantastic figure. The details and the sculpting and the paint, everything is fantastic. He came with some great accessories. Yeah, it's a shame. The Space Cadet Raph, I'm a little disappointed about. I feel like it is a little phoned in. If you want to see a comparison, here is the original Raphael figure. So I guess they're about the same size. And then just for the heck of it, if you want to see how these guys scale with a NECA turtle, there is a NECA turtle. So of course they're smaller. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it's an okay figure. It's not worth the $55 in my opinion, but the Genghis is absolutely worth the retail price. So I would love to know what you all think of these figures and Super7 TMNT Ultimates in general. It is controversial, to say the least. I feel like there are a lot of characters we still need that we will probably never get for various reasons, whether it's licensing, whether it's Nickelodeon or Paramount or Playmate Toys or just Super7, who knows? And honestly, it's toys. Like, I don't understand why any of it has to be a big deal. For me, I just like to have complete sets. I like to have, complete teams. So again, missing the Undercover Donatello here, it's fairly disappointing because we have other Donatello variants coming out that are kind of not filling any gaps or anything. But the debacle with Rat King was irritating, to say the least. And yeah, they just made some very strange business decisions, which I really don't understand as a toy collector of, 35 years, give or take. It's just strange. It's just they made some strange decisions and don't really get it. I feel like the other toy companies are just doing better in terms of putting out product that we want and putting it out more on time and whatever. So that is my review of the latest TMNT Ultimates. Love to know what you all think. Happy Turtle Tuesday, and thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Have a good one.